Oh, we're back for another 10 minutes with Maxx Gilliam. None of the episodes have been 10 minutes yet, but we're going to work on that. Listen, I got an ultra fire guest today. Her name is Miss Thomas, the Warrior. She's a WBC Muay Thai fighting champion. Okay, so she's nothing to play around with. She's also a property lawyer, a woman's advocate. She's a musician, so she's multifaceted. She's an amazing person, an amazing spirit, has a great smile. So this is going to be an ultra dope interview. As soon as she comes up, we'll add her on. And that's how we do it, y'all. Thanks for coming. Thanks for liking. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for doing all of that fun stuff. Actually, thanks for subscribing too. The episodes start live on IG, but I do upload them to YouTube and Facebook as well, Maxx Gilliam. So whatever your preference, and those of you who are watching it on those other forums, thanks for tuning in. And so we're just waiting on her right now. Let me see if I can find her. There we go. Is it nice?
Hi.
Yeah. Miss
Here I
Thomas,
am.
thank
Hello.
you. Thank you for coming through. I don't want to cut my head off. How are
My
you?
pleasure. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. Thank you for coming. I'm gonna get right into it. You're a WBC Muay Thai champion.
Yeah,
You're also a property lawyer,
yeah,
a musician, and a songwriter.
yep.
And where did you grow up in the UK? Where exactly are you from?
I grew up in the south of England, so an area called Surrey.
Okay,
And then I also grew up in Spain, in Mallorca. So I spent most of my teenage years there. So and then came back to the UK when I was about 16. So
nice.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, and were you always a disciplined person or kid, child, before martial arts, or is that something that kind of helps you or helped you with that?
I think it definitely helps me with that. I think I've always been very sort of regimented and strict. I think partly as well that's because of my family and how they are with things. Um, so they're quite structured and everything. But yeah, I think definitely martial arts helped me become a bit more focused and stuff like that. I'm kind of like I'm an everything type person. I do everything. So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
definitely helps me focus. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, I guess being that way would help you even get into it in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. There's always that interest and that connection there. So, that definitely is there.
Now,
So,
did,
yeah.
did you have you ever gotten into any non-professional fights, like a
Oh,
brawl in
like
the
a
park?
school and that. No, I wouldn't say fights. I mean, there's times when you need to handle people if they're disrespecting, but there's no fights like they're hitting me, I'm hitting them, I'm not that type of person. I'd rather use my words. Um,
Absolutely,
Fighting is not, something that's good to do, especially on the street, because that's where the real dangers are.
absolutely.
Um, in the ring, it's a safe environment, it's controlled, it's a lot of stuff. So fighting is not good. So no, I haven't been in any fights, but yeah, did I have to put someone in their place once or twice? Yeah, I've done that
Yeah,
before.
yeah. No, I totally agree. But hey, sometimes, you kind of have no choice, right?
You don't have
And
a choice. There you go.
so you've been lucky.
I've been very fortunate. Yeah, I've been very fortunate. So
That's good.
yeah, good.
That's awesome. So how different is the energy from you going from amateur fighting into pro fighting? You know, like just the
Yeah,
energy you get from the
the
experience.
energy in the ring.
Say again?
Well, the energy that's required in the ring, or
Yeah, the difference,
yeah,
right? So you had X amount of fights as an amateur, and it just
yeah,
brings
yeah,
a
mhm,
certain energy. And then when it's
yeah.
pro, it's like, does that put a different like, ooh,
Yeah, it does for sure. Gives you a different level of nerves. There's so much involved. There's obviously a bigger crowd. It's usually in a bigger arena. You're selling tickets, which is another thing. It's just like for everyone, I think it just puts a different vibe on it. And you know, you got your entrance music, and you just know that it's the big game. So it's like, you know, practice versus Super Bowl for you guys. So it's like, yeah, it's the big game. So
Right. And
different experience.
was becoming champion your ultimate goal?
It wasn't. I think I never really. The only goal that I had when I wanted to start Thai boxing was just to start a new martial art and learn and experience it. That was really it. I never wanted to fight. That wasn't my intention at all. I even said, um, actually, to my coach and my dad at the time, I said, I don't want to fight. I'm not fighting. And my coach was like, yeah, you're going to be fighting. This will be you soon. I was like, no, this won't be me. My dad was like, yeah, yeah, this will be her soon. I was like, no, I never wanted to fight. That wasn't my thing. I really
Yeah.
wasn't. It just happened. It kind of fell into
Yeah.
it.
Just one thing led to another, and you were
It
just
did.
like cool with it every step
Yeah.
of the way. Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of just do an amateur, you know, your coach sort of has the confidence in you. You do an amateur, and then, you know, after that, then you do a couple more amateurs, and then they're like, oh, there's a pro fight next week,
Right.
and then you're like, okay. So yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
yeah, I'm quite like that anyway. I'm quite open to opportunities and different things. So I consider them, and then I think, yeah, let's give it a go. So I've always been like that. That's why I have so many different um, attributes to me, because I always try new things. I always like to try new
Yeah.
things. So
Yeah. I
yeah,
can't wait to hopefully I can get you back to talk about some of those other things that you're into because they're also
yeah,
so very interesting.
yeah.
Now, can you tell me about the mental fight within the physical fight?
I think that's the biggest part of it, to be honest. You know, psyching yourself up, not psyching yourself out. Telling yourself that you're good enough, giving yourself the level of confidence to fight, um, not getting too nervous or too scared. It's a big fight within yourself. I think half the time the battle is there in your mental, um, and it's quite and in some of the negative voices as well. Also having levels of affirmation and visualization as well, seeing the end goal before it is achieved. You know, so seeing that you're going to win, seeing that I'm going to get the belt. I did a lot of that before I got the belt. I visualized it so many times, even up to the point where I was in the weigh-in and I was looking at the belt. I literally said, "This is mine," and I saw it happen, and I saw myself winning, and I saw the way I won. I saw myself winning by between the first and the third round by a knockout with an elbow, and that's exactly what I got. So
Yeah.
it's a huge part.
I've heard you talk in your other interviews and things about, visualization and manifestation and
Yeah,
that sort of thing, and it seems to be working for you.
it seems so. Yeah, I've been that way for a long time. It's something that my dad instilled in us for a long, you know, from a young age. You know, listening to a lot of motivational tapes and that cassettes at the time in back in the
Right.
90s. So we
Yeah.
were listening to people like Deepak Chopra and
Uh-huh.
you know, Tony Robbins and that when I was like 5, 6 years old. So in the car on the way to school. So these are teachings and people like Zig Ziglar and that. These people were in the car with us going to school, you know, preparing us. And at the time when you're a child, you're not really thinking about those things, but really it's going in, and that's become a big part of my life. So I use that in all avenues of my life at the moment. Yeah. So
Wow, I just came across Tony Robbins like what 2, 3 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 actually. But yeah,
yeah,
I didn't know he was doing his thing so long.
long time.
What's
Yeah.
the back? Yeah, what's the background to you not eating meat?
So my family stopped eating meat. So my parents stopped. Well, my dad stopped eating meat, and then eventually all of us stopped eating meat when I was 3 years old. So that was just a conscious decision to make with regards to um, the way meat is prepared, the way it's uh, what's in meat, and the way that what these animals experience in terms of stress, they things they put into the animals. You know, these things are um, transferred into you once you eat in. Also, the psychology of it in terms of the cell, um, you know, intelligence as well. That is a big deal because that's what makes cells cancerous is the information that's within the cells. These sorts of things can contribute to health issues in humans. So that was sort of the fundamental ideology behind not eating meat. So yeah, so I haven't eaten meat since I was 3. We ate fish, and then about 4 or 5 years ago, I decided to stop eating fish. Um, just because my body just felt like it didn't need it anymore, and literally I just listened to my body and made the conscious decision to stop eating fish as well. So now I'm completely plant-based, and
Yeah.
but yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. Yeah, so it's kind of normal to me. Yeah.
Yeah, plant-based is my goal as well. I'm kind of where you were 4 or 5 years ago with the fish. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and other seafoods. I can't do shellfish. I'm allergic, but a lot of fish. Yeah,
Yeah.
too much fish. So I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it now. I just finished a 3-day fast with just water. So
Oh, nice. Oh,
it's
wow.
always a good time to try and eliminate some
Right
things.
thing.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
You have to see. I think you always have to just listen to your body. That's why I always say, never do it because it's a thing to do or a fad or something you feel you should do. You do it, listen to your body and what your body needs, and it will,
Mhm.
take care of you. So that's how I feel about
That was a jewel. That was a jewel. Yeah.
it.
No, that was really good. That was really good. And it actually helps
Drop
me
on.
because I'll put all this pressure on myself to do things with
Yeah.
this. And
Yeah.
I kind of
Your
don't.
heart. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, from the heart. You're right about that. That's awesome.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
Now tell me what you have learned about life from kickboxing that you didn't know you were learning. So like in hindsight, now looking back, if you're making a sandwich and you're like, hey, this reminds me of, just what comes to mind that you've learned.
I would say patience. I've learned a lot of patience through Thai boxing. Also from traveling to Thailand and training and fighting out there, that taught me a lot of patience because they're very relaxed out there. The phrase they say is "sabai sabai," which is relax, chill. Everything is like, yeah, don't worry about it. Like I'm fighting tomorrow. Yeah, don't worry about it. Sabai sabai. So it's not a big deal.
Nice, nice.
So I've learned a lot of patience, respect as well. I mean, I've always been a very respectful person, but definitely I've learned about, a lot of respecting a lot of things. It's made me more connected, I think, to my spiritual side. I've always been very spiritual anyway, but I think because there's so many rituals and things which I explain in obviously my talk that I had on my page from Saturday, I talk a lot about the spiritual side of Thai boxing. So I've
Yes.
definitely learned a lot of that quietness because I think sometimes too much. I think too far ahead in life. I think about everything too much, and so it's taught me to slow down a lot for sure.
Yeah, maybe I need to do Muay Thai myself then, because
Yeah, that or
I'm
Tai
always.
Chi or yeah, anything that allows you to kind of still your mind and focus on something else, focus on the body in different ways. That's definitely something that's worth doing for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for coming through. 10 minutes with Maxx Gilliam. It's
Oh,
never
we
long
did
enough.
it.
I know we're already over. It's never long enough, but that just means that you get to come back and
Yeah,
talk about some other things. I'm
awesome.
I knew this was going to be fire, so I'm super pleased, super happy. My smile is real.
Good. Thank
And
you.
I usually end off with 2 questions. What's the next 3 years look like for the world?
For me, yeah, next 3 years.
For you is my second question, but you can put them
Oh, for the
together
world in general. Oh,
in general.
well, yeah, for the world to be, more happier, positive, more cohesiveness. So people working together with things, collaborating. That's something that I would love to see more collaborations and people working together, trying to come to a unified goal. That's what I would say I would love
Like
to
we are
see.
right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. More of this stuff, definitely carry this on. This would be amazing. Yeah.
And for you, for Miss Thomas the Warrior,
For me, probably adding ever more things and strings to my bow. Um, just building on some of the projects that I'm working on at the moment, getting myself to a really good position where I am comfortable and doing exactly what I want to do. But I'm quite happy right now. So yeah, just doing more of what I'm doing right now. Definitely help
yeah.
more people for sure. Yeah.
And you're an inspiration. I heard you say in your other interview how you kind of just, you set your own path. You don't let people, you're an entrepreneur, you have your own business, you're
Yeah,
your own entity with your fighting.
yeah,
Everything you do seems to come from an independent standpoint, and
yeah,
you set your own pace,
yeah,
so the
yeah.
next few years will look similar in that way, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Doing more, building more businesses and working for myself, but collaborating with people. So, yeah, I just feel that having having something of your own allows you to have more rules of your own. So I'm not tied to certain restrict constraints. So I can
Yeah.
just be free to do what I need to do to help people. So yeah,
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing some more of that and
sure.
seeing you back here on 10 Minutes with Maxx Gilliam. Thank you so much, Miss
Yeah,
Thomas.
my pleasure. Thank you for having
All
me.
right.
Appreciate it.
Oh, and I have to say, your sister's on air. Your sister's single is fire. Her name is
Renee Rain.
Renee Rain. Renee Rain. I think she tuned in at least earlier.
Yeah.
So I want you to know, Renee, that single is fire. I'm all about the music. Listen, I produce, I songwrite, so I know music when I hear it, and that joint is fire. So it's in my Amazon Music playlist. And you co-wrote on that. So
I
yeah,
did. Yeah.
we're gonna
Yeah.
talk music when you come back.
Nice. Yeah, we've got so much more to talk about.
All right, cool.
All right.
Thanks again.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Later.